Yeah, David Dread of Steel Pulse, and I'm saying hail to Lion Voice because it's time that the lion have its voice, have its own story. Says I'm stepping out here. Hear me now. Oh, yeah, the lion's voice. Raw.
The time has come for the lioness to tell her own story.
With these hours,
Yes.
we must think which AU can ask us accountable.
Yes.
It's not only that the AU is not following up. We are not following
We
up.
are not following up. I'm glad he said that.
Africans around the world, unite. Do not fight. Stand up for Africa's right. Help make Africa's future bright. Keep Africa's light growing. Keep Africa overflowing with love and righteousness.
Well, Lion Voice, tell them that's the people first choice. Lion Voice, make the lioness them feel nice. Lion Voice, with the lion cubs we sacrifice. Lion Voice, got to show the people them the life. Lion Voice.
Well, great is the Almighty, and greatly to be praised in the city of Haile Selassie I, the mountain of His holiness.
Yeah, from Cape to Cairo, from Timbuktu to the Nile, you know, the whole entire continent.
Beautiful for situation, the joy of the whole earth is Mount Zion, from Accra to Addis Ababa.
Yes, it's beautiful continent, better control, mama.
Very beautiful.
From Cape to Cairo, from Timbuktu to the Nile, I smile. From
I hear you call Mama Africa. Been so long since I see Mama. Father of Africa set the law. The lion come and dismantle Babylon flaw. We gonna use solar energy, use sanitation to build the ecology. We utilizing green technology. We hailing Haile Selassie first without apology. And then we build the youth them economy. We dismantle Babylon monopoly. We teach the youth them how to live properly. Tell them make sure them got the title fit them property.
yes, this beautiful continent, better control, mama. From Cape to Cairo, from Timbuktu to the Nile, I smile.
Greetings in that divine name of His Imperial Majesty, Emperor Haile Selassie I. Glory and honor the name of His chosen Queen, Empress Wazira Menen. My name is Kwasi Bansu, aka the Dejazmatch Kwasi, aka Ras Kwasi, aka the Reading Ras, aka the Panafrican Happy Man. I'm a creative industry attorney, I'm an author, I'm an artist, I'm an actionist, and right now I'm the host of the Lion's Voice. Welcome to the Lion Voice, and welcome to the Lion Voice Network and Lion Talk, a series where we sit down with lions and lionesses to bring to the eye them topics that are very important to the global Rastafari Panafrican family. As you can hear, we are on site. I'm going to let the siren pass, but that's part of the ambience. We are here off of Black Broadway. This is one of the most special interviews, and this is the first in a series of interviews I'm going to be bringing authors so we can talk about their books. So I say I'm the Reading Ras, I'm an author, but it's not just I. We have ones who have been writing books before I and ones that will write books after. This guest is very special to I because it's one of I teachers, I Jegnas. When I came into the movement, she was one of the people who guided I one of the most salient pieces of advice ever that I've ever received in this trad was, while others are praying, sometimes you have to be working. And I've taken that as a mantra. She's written books. She's a journalist. She's an educator. She's an author. She is a mother to many, not just her own biological children, but most of the Rastafari sistren you've seen featured on this channel have been taught or have sat at the foot of this elder to get their knowledge and wisdom. She is a national, international, international treasure, a Rastafari matriarch. She is the pioneer when it comes on to the educated Rastafari in the sistren. I have a lot of doctors and this and that where we bring on the channel. Before all of that, she was there steadying the pace, coming through the house of the Nyabingi, the first sistren from upper middle class background to really trod the Asian order of the Ayabingi, bringing valuable skill sets into the movement. A sistren that has also trotted to the continent multiple times before I was even born. She had made the trod to the continent. One of my most seminal moments in the Rastafari movement was being able to go to Ghana for the first time with this same elder that you see sitting beside I. Who am I talking about? I'm talking about our elder, matriarch, Nana Farika Berhane. Welcome to the Lion's Voice. Lengthy intro, but I couldn't do any less. And I missed a lot of things.
Let me share. I've been welcome.
Yes.
Trotting from house to house. Blessed and I trotting in.
Yes.
And then I trotting out from this day forward. Peace be within thy house and prosperity within thy palace.
Nice.
For thy brethren and thy companions say, I will now say peace be within thee. Once upon a time I been and they went into another one. Gates.
Yes.
So they greeted each other.
Wow. And you hear the cadence, that poetic cadence. That is because she's also a poet. And we're going to talk about some of her poetry. I'm hoping that she will be nice enough to even read from Africa on the Move, because that's why we're here. We're here. She's written many books, but one of the seminal works that you have written is this book, Africa on the Move, and that's why we're here. Before we get into the book, though, I want to just, for those who are not familiar, because Rastafari will know the I, but for those who are not familiar, I have Ethiopians. I just saw today that I have viewers in Australia, all over. So just give us a brief introduction, where you were born, what was, your upbringing, and your journey into Rastafari.
I'll try to make it brief.
Brief, yes.
Because I've actually been writing about my thoughts from the 60s until now, and I keep getting stuck at the 80s. I was born in Kingston, Jamaica.
Yes.
My mother was actually, although we didn't know that at the time, she's actually a descendant of the Eastern Maroons.
Okay.
And my father was a Garveyite. I was more influenced in growing up with my father than my mother. But my mother was much younger than my father. And he was a pioneer, going around making sure he had a kind of construction building. And when the elders came up here in 1988, I found out that most of them had worked for him. I never knew.
Okay, yes. Yeah, I hear this.
Right. And he also was responsible for making sure that Mrs. Amy Jakes Garvey was properly housed. Got land for her chief and then build their house for one.
Beautiful.
Mm-hmm. I'm looking for somebody to do that for me. So I started my own a very important person that I don't usually mention, but she is one Daisy Greenwich, a Barbadian.
Okay.
She used to run the Black Man, Darby's Black Man friendship, and she was an actress. But she was always in our house acting. And of course, as she been growing mischievous, been taking her serious. Yeah. And I'm telling you, she could tell and Garvey. Yeah. Etc. Yeah. For me, she was like an aunt. Yeah. She got me my, when we had graduation, she found a date for me.
Yes.
she got me my first job, etc. But she's not mentioned much about Garvey.
Yes. I'm just hearing for the first time now.
Of course, because these scholars like Lutherans and those don't mention it.
Yes.
So how are you going to hear?
And say the name again?
Daisy Greenwich.
Daisy Greenwich.
She was from Barbados.
Okay.
So I was partly schooled by Barbadians.
With the Barbados family?
Yes. And on top of that, when I worked for the Green, the editor was Theodore Seeley, a very strict and bossy Barbadian. The Barbadians are in my life.
Stick a pin 1 second. So, yeah, that's not a name that we hear very frequently.
I've never heard it amongst Barbados. And I myself have been guilty of not talking about it. But as I go older, I remember my youth more.
Yes.
And so I said, well, nobody talks about Daisy. What's so important?
Yeah.
Running the Black Man movement.
You were not someone that was looking at this from the perspective of outside. You were literally inside.
Right.
You know, so you have a perspective that I think is so vital. And I think it comes through in your poetry. Why don't you read us one of your poems? And what we're going to do is we're going to do this interview a little different, because some of these poems, family, and this is why you're going to buy the book. It's available on Amazon. Powerful work. And again, these poems are coming from someone who knew Amy Jacques Garvey, who was there, whose father was right in the center of the movement in Jamaica. So it's invaluable. So can you share one of your poems here, and then we'll continue on the journey to Africa on the Move.
Africa is on the move. Africa is growing. Africa is sowing freedom sound. There's a wind blowing, sowing seeds of change on Africa, whispering freedom to each and every one, raining freedom all over the land. I shall arise in the morning. I shall witness the dawning of a new day for Africa. I shall arise in the morning to the sound of the drums. I shall come, Mother Africa. I shall come. I shall come. But there's no turning back. The vision I have of Africa redeemed. For scattered sons and daughters returning from the four corners of the earth, giving birth to new heights in humanity. And the hungry shall be fed, and each man have a bed of his liking. And the naked shall be clothed, and the aged have respect, and the infant wrapped in love in Africa's rainbow dawning. And Ethiopia shall stretch forth her hands unto Jah, and the earth shall be judged, and the fullness thereof, and tranquility shall reign.
That is it, people. Rainbow Dawning. I know that poem very well. That is one of the seminal, for those of us who know and love Nana Farika, that is one of the favorites. And that's just a taste of what to expect in this new work, Africa on the Move. Again, make sure you visit Amazon and purchase. So, in terms of your journey, coming up in the Marcus Garvey movement, you had a Pan-African foundation. What was your first interaction with Rastafari in terms of your first recollection?
Recollection I remember first is the Jamaican political situation. Jamaica got what they call adult literacy. That means ordinary people could vote.
Yes.
And the election didn't go the way the middle class should. It was Norman Manley, which is Michael Manley's father,
Yes.
against Alexander Bustamante.
Yes.
At first, Alexander Bustamante was the head of the union, and it was won.
Yes.
And then they broke up because Buster decided he's popular. He should run his own party.
Yes. He was a populist.
Yeah, he
Yes.
was. And so, when the elections were held, the outcome was that Bustamante won. Great consternation in the middle class.
Yeah.
But what he did was turn out workers to pave the roads. And we were living in a little suburban area. Where the road, it was just opening up. So that was one of the roads that was being paved.
What part of Kingston was
East
this?
Kingston.
East Kingston.
We're living actually at Milford Road. And then the main road was Windward Road.
Windward Road. Yes.
And so there were workers on Windward Road and there were workers on Milford Road, right?
Yes.
And among the workers was Rastafari people.
Okay.
Yeah. And I remember walking because my father, although he was so militant, he sent us to Roman Catholic school because giving us the type of education that was European.
Yes.
So this Rasta man saw me struggling with a big book as a black child. And black people were being that educated and not being that in middle class and upper middle class.
Yeah.
So of course he had the affinity to me. Oh, called me, little girl, what's that book you're reading? So I showed him the book. And the book was A History of England. He said, no. You must read A History of Africa. As a child, that stuck into my head. So that's the first
Planting the seed.
Planting the seed. And then my mother, although she was not in favor of Rasta at all. But her own heritage, which she didn't share with us, made her like plants and trees. She always had a beautiful garden. And there was a Rasta man who she used to hire to help her with her garden. He was always recommended I should have some herbs and things.
Yes.
And she was outraged, but she never fired him because she liked how talented he was.
Yes.
And then the other neighbors, they would cheer him. There was no full time to cheer him on certain days. So I remember him and his interaction with her.
Yes. Just in terms of context, what year are we talking about? What are we talking about? 60s or?
No.
This is when?
No, this will be in the late 40s.
Wow.
And
early 50s, late 40s.
Right.
So I just want to show the caliber, because some people are elders but them just come in an eldership. The eye has been seated in eldership for some time. When we talk about the 40s and early 50s, we must know.
I was a child.
Yes, exactly.
And I was keeping up what was going on. I was collecting the World War II before it ended and all that sort of stuff.
So you still have memories of World War II?
Oh yes, I remember the Zeppelin planes.
Okay, yes.
I remember the blackouts. And when the man walking up and down, tell us turn off the lights.
Wow.
Yeah, I remember that very
You see?
well.
So it's a living archive in terms of that Jamaica that you grew up in doesn't exist anymore.
No.
And the thing we also have to, that I like, is that the Rastafari brethren that you're talking about had skills. They were tradespeople,
Yes.
gardener, I hear, road work. So they weren't just idle.
Oh no.
Mm-hmm.
You know who was one of the elders that is you would currently know? Fidel.
Fidel, yes.
My father trained him as a carpenter.
Okay.
And then he ran away because my father was always finding work for him when he wanted to relax. Yes, those days were colonial days, were under a British flag. It means that a lot of the Rastas were being arrested for sedition and treason.
Wow.
For giving alliance to a king that was not the king of England.
Okay. Yes. So it was dangerous to be Rastafari in that time.
Oh yes.
Yes.
Oh yes.
Not like today where it's a fashion and you style and the...
I would never imagine it. The longest never see the most.
All right. We change our location to get out of the sun. The sun is beating here in Washington, D.C. But you know, the reasoning is so sweet. We couldn't just end it so. So we were talking about the early elders, and this is the late 40s, early 50s, and you know the persecution that Rastafari was facing, but that also that these were skilled brethren. These were brethren with a trade. These were brethren who were seeing youth and encouraging reading. Because right now the image of Rastafari in Jamaica has changed dramatically, as you know, because the artists have been pushed to the forefront, and sometimes you know.
You know, Jah give everyone a talent.
Yes,
So the artist talent is to sing and dance
Yes, yes,
and to paint. Not the talent as a speaker and community builder.
yes,
What he can do, or she, is contribute to the community building people.
yes.
But because they can get an audience of almost 10,000 and whatever, they think they're the ones supposed to lead. So they don't have that talent.
You know, on that talent. So we're going into some serious, and what we're gonna do, family. We're gonna just ask Nana to read some of her poetry from the book, and I want our viewers wherever you are, because Amazon delivers almost globally now.
Yes.
So you can order the book, the poem. This is a treat for us to really get this type of access to one of our great matriarchs who is also a poet. Can you just share with us another poem from Africa on the Move? Again, it's available on Amazon. We just had a pigeon fly down to hear some of the poetry. So I just want to show you the vibe when Rastafari is present, you know? Even the animals rejoice. So go ahead.
The storm is here, heralded by lightning, striking the heart of everything in its way of our redemption. The way must be cleared. Black thunder voices roar from above, sending messages of love. High winds blow away corruption. Flood burns out eruptions. The heavens rain freedom.
Oh,
And it was inspired by Marcus Garvey's words.
okay. The whirlwind.
Right.
I mean, the whirlwind.
Right. Let me see if I have another one.
That was so nice. Let us get another. And the pigeon I draw closer as you do
These pigeons are very friendly.
Yeah, watch it. Then one getting poetry slam. Alright, go ahead.
Africans around the world, unite, do not fight. Stand up for Africa's right. Help make Africa's future bright. Keep Africa's light growing. Keep Africa overflowing with love and righteousness.
And what inspired that poem?
The unification of Africa and the move towards knowing how important it is for Africa to unite.
So talk to us. Okay, when was it that you decided to commit your life? You've committed your life to this African redemption struggle. What was the moment, you know, as a young woman that you knew in yourself, this is gonna be my life?
Well, you know, I went around it in a roundabout way.
Mm-hmm.
I was living in a very class stratified society.
Yes.
And because my father had a lot of money,
Yes.
he used Garveyite principles and cut quite well. I was there thrown in with these upper class. But I and them didn't look alike. And the women especially gave me a hard time. And he was so busy making money. You know, he figured somebody else to deal with that part, right?
Was it because of your complexion?
Yes, it definitely was because of my complexion.
You were darker than most of the uptown.
Yes, I was.
You were very
Yes.
almost.
And darker than most of my brothers and sisters too. I was a black sheep.
Okay.
And you know, and certain things I know is destiny. Because later on in life, I got to find out I was actually different from the rest of my siblings, not only because of my complexion, but because of my early training and coming into the world.
Okay.
My mother went into what they know called depression, whatever.
Depression.
Postpartum.
Yes.
She went into that after I was born.
Okay.
And therefore I was taken away from her. And my grandmother was supposed to look after me, but my grandmother was a bell that had come down in life.
Yes.
So she wasn't very good caretaker. So she took me to my grand aunt.
Okay.
And my grand aunt, my great grandfather had 3 daughters. One black, one brown, and one part Indian.
Okay.
He liked variety.
Yes.
Different from most Jamaicans at the time.
Yes.
His wife, the main wife,
Yes.
was a black one.
Yes.
Right? So now, when I went to the aunt, she was part black and part Indian.
Yes.
She had no children.
Mm-hmm.
And she had married back into the Indian tribe. So her husband was a full Indian.
Okay.
And I found out just when I was about to go to do presentation in 1983 conference, the way I was dressed, my mother looked at me shocked. Oh, you look just like Aunt Rachel. I know Aunt Rachel was an Indian and I was doing some yellow things and so.
Yeah.
So I thought it was that. She said, no. She used to run a barnyard. So I was in a barnyard as a small child.
So you didn't even realize. And then explain to the non-Jamaicans what a barnyard is.
Well, it's a healing. It's a place where they drum and heal people. To African rituals and
so that's the African
Indian.
retention.
Right.
So traditional African religion.
Yeah, but obviously the part Indian got part of it. So.
Yes. So some Hindu tradition would
mix into it, you know. And she's the one my mother said saved my life.
Okay.
Because left for my grandmother alone, I would waste away. And my mother was there in her postpartum, whatever. My father was there making money.
so that African, that drum was there.
That helps me to relate to the Nyabingi.
To the Nyabingi.
The drum. The drum.
We're seeing.
And my mother must wonder, how is it on earth that I wandered myself back into this drumming thing? She knew, but she never told me.
Yeah. So it makes sense why of all of it, because you would be more fit into the 12th tribe of Israel, which ordinarily is more the upper class.
Right. I started out
middle class.
I used to go to the meetings.
Yes. And they started as EWF and then they evolved into the 12th tribe. So
I know that part of them, but the drums helped me in Nyabingi.
Yes.
Although the organization skills of the 12th tribe was important to me, but I just had to go to the drums.
The drums only.
Right.
The 1-2 order.
Right.
And
I could stay there and try to encourage, that organization and part, and keep in touch with EWF tribe.
Yes.
So that I had some type of backing. I wasn't completely something.
And you were unique because today when someone says they're part of the Nyabingi, they go at them yard, them come up Bingi, 12 o'clock, them stay and chant Bingi till 2 o'clock, and then them gone back at them yard. You actually live on the campsite. So you are not just a casual Nyabingi person. You actually live. Talk about.
How did I end up there?
Yes.
Which Rasta was very important to me, ending up there and working also to bring up the elder, Boba Shanti.
Boba Shanti, that was
Shanti. Yes.
And a lot of people don't know about. Even myself, he had passed before I came into the movement.
Exactly.
I know Ma Shanti, but I never met Boba Shanti.
Baba Shanti was the master drummer in the house before Kutani them take over.
Okay, before Bongo Tani.
Yes, that's
Okay.
kind of thing it's him.
Mm-hmm.
He had made some of them chef and all of them.
Okay.
I think he got much older than Martin.
Okay.
And you tell you things now.
And this is when you had elders like Bongo Pur
Oh yes.
and these Asian. We don't hear much about these elders today. We hear about Bongo Wato.
Yes, I'm going to what I want to do they leave all the time.
Yes, but we don't hear about the other elders who were instrumental in terms of the leadership of the Nyabingi.
Here's what happened.
Yeah.
Bongo Water trained Ike Tafari in Barbados.
Yes.
Ike Tafari, I think his uncle was Governor General of Ireland.
Yeah.
Very aristocratic upper class.
Yeah.
So Ike arranged a Bobo Shan,
Bongo
Bongo
Wato.
Water ride
Yeah.
to go to Barbados.
Yes.
So he got a voice out there. Barbados and Rasta was glad to see him. And what.
Yes. Yes.
At one time, Water was the only elder that they knew.
Yes.
They didn't know another one.
Most of the Bingi houses in the Caribbean attribute their rising to Bongo Wato.
Yeah, because
Yes.
I took him to Barbados and then walk around and whatever.
Yes.
So they are correct because that's the priest that they knew.
And that was his legacy in terms of the global spread of the Nyabingi order.
And he also lived near to the University of West Indies.
Yes.
So he interact with the students and so he would go back to their homes.
Yes.
And most of the other ones are poor. I don't know if you ever had a passport.
Okay. And family, when you hear me talking about this history, a lot of this history is I learned from Nana Farika. Just listening over the years, that's how I learned about a Bongo Pur. I don't think you're the first person I ever heard mention that name. You know,
He used to be regarded as the head of the business.
yes, and
Bongo Poor.
yes,
He was older than the others. He lived on the campsite. They weren't living on the campsite.
okay,
Overshan just lived there and come off. I don't remember what person was there.
yes,
But the fact the center of the Nairobi when it was 10 miles was Bongo Poor.
okay,
Everybody else come to Bongo Poor.
okay.
Do they have a trouble? They come to Bongo Poor.
You were a mediator.
Yeah, every morning you make up a show. A lot of them line up at Bongo Poor house with their complaints or their issues. And what he couldn't solve immediately
Yes.
would go to when they have reached this 93.
Okay. Who are some of the other seminal elders that you saw in those early days that you don't hear mentioned much?
Let me say something.
Yes.
There are a lot of elders that related to me, one. But I don't know their name
Okay.
because during the time, they would be reasoning, they would come up with a reason and give their Bible quote. I don't know the first one, but I can remember. Until we must learn this and stuff. I don't know. People were, it was more important about what we're saying
Yes.
and name.
And also your schoolmate in the Nyabingi, which was a next daughter, that I learned about from the Sister Aina.
But yeah, she was older than me.
Okay.
And she had a history. Everybody knew her except the ones who wanted not to know and wasn't to know.
Yes.
She came out of the Howard camp.
Okay. So from the original
Yes,
schoolroom of Rastafari.
yes.
Leonard Howard.
Yeah, she kept in touch with them even after it was broken. There was a camp near where she lived.
Yeah.
She lived at a place called Salter, where was the healing place. And there was a camp right nearby Sister Audrey. Introduced me to Sister Audrey.
Okay.
And I introduced Audrey to some of them. All Danisha was taking pictures with Sister Anne.
Okay.
And I thought it very strange because they're taking pictures with her. And she had on a dress that is all tattered. I
Okay.
said, but this is so good. Buy the sister dress.
Yes.
Does it look nice when she wants to get present? You don't get that person.
Yeah. So in terms of the how did you meet Sister Aina? Because one of the things I try to do with my platform is give a voice to the sisters, and their story has not been told. You know what I mean? We don't really hear a lot about those seminal sisters who, really made the movement what it was.
And 22 fingers.
Talk to us about how you met Sister Aina. Was she already in the house when you
Of
went?
course, it
Yes.
was in the house.
Yes. Okay.
You know, all second name, Sister Aina, Sister Daphne, Marshanti,
Mm-hmm.
the other one, Sister, what's her name? It's a Hazel name, but she wasn't that popular.
But they welcomed you.
My sister, Carmen.
Okay.
There are whole set of several eight of them. At first, I was scanning me because I was coming from the middle class.
Yeah.
Who is this? But what got them is that I could talk to the elders and make them listen to me. And they didn't too much have that talent. And they wanted to check out who's this woman?
Because you have always been skilled in diplomacy. I have to say that for those who don't know Nana Farika, she's very skilled in diplomacy.
Well, I work for JIS,
Yes.
Jamaica Information Service.
Talk to us about your professional, because you were already had a career before you entered,
Yes.
which is also unique in the
Yes.
movement. You were already established in Jamaican society,
Yes.
and you left all of that. So what were you doing? Because Gleaner Company,
I ran away from the Gleaner, and I came there as a cover porter
yes,
as a teenager.
okay,
And then the Gleaner wanted to show that the administrator told them they were idlers. So they plucked me out from among my colleagues and actually put me to act as acting assistant editor.
okay,
And they didn't put on 1 cent on my play. And the elders at the time resented me because I was showing them up. So I was getting into a very tense situation.
okay,
And I went to work at the Greener because I wanted to write even as a child. I was writing poems and things. And my older brother said, you want to write? Let me show you where you can go and write and get some money. And send me down to the Gleaner.
yes,
But journalism was never my first choice as a career.
yes,
It's my trade that I could earn a living while I write poetry and stories.
You've always been a creative.
Yeah, that goes first.
Mm-hmm.
And the media goes second.
Yes,
Within the Jamaican society, the media went first.
yes.
The creative was second. They could die of starvation being a creative.
Even to this day.
Okay, so you can imagine in those days
Yes.
how much more terrible it was. So I ran away from the Green and decided to freelance. And I ended up at the Jamaica Information Service.
Okay.
And I worked at the Jamaica, instead of being a civil servant, which is what it is, I was a consultant. That means I could run away anytime I got tired of them. But also later on I found they could pick me out and close up the doors.
Yes.
I didn't think of that part.
Yes.
But during the time when I was at JIS and freelancing and so, I not only worked in PR, but I also I discovered I was a scriptwriter. I was writing radio plays, documentaries, film unit, the first sitcom, local sitcom. And I was winning prizes in the national.
What was the name of the sitcom for the Jamaican historians?
Two sets. One was called Life in Hopeful Village. I didn't originate that.
Yes.
When that was in trouble, they called it Helpman.
To write scriptural life and hope for a village.
Right, and
Okay.
that comes very part of the Jamaican culture now.
Yes.
And then the other one was Life with the Littles, and that was the first locally written sitcom, TV sitcom in Jamaica.
Okay.
I had problems with people with me writing things and my name not on it and all that stuff. So even although I was established, there was something about me they didn't like.
Mm-hmm.
And don't give me the trouble.
That Panafrican
outlook.
flair, then probably smell it by you.
Exactly.
Yes.
I used to, one of the persons I used to do work with was Louise Bennett.
Yes. Talk about that, because you were also very close with Miss Lou.
Yes, we reached this stage that sometimes when I'm working with her and she's thinking of something and trying to get it together, and I just come out with it. We could read each other's mind.
Yes, yes.
And one of the things I would like to do with this new anti-Rosa thing is find the one that I worked on. When the emperor came to Jamaica.
Okay.
And that reception he had, a lot of people who went, they got a belly ache. And you know, Rasta was laughing. So we did something on that.
Okay.
And it's somewhere in some archive.
So, a poem about bellyache, the high officials getting bellyache at its Majesty gathering. So, what I want to go into now, and then we're going to get into another poem, is you were able to make a trip to Africa very early in the 70s.
Yes, I'll tell you how that came about.
Yeah, to a very seminal historical moment for the OAU as well.
Yes.
So let's talk about that, because that's going to lead us into the continuation of, because this is not just a poetry book. I want everyone to be clear. It's not just poetry. The poetry is there, that it's nice, but it's also what documents your trip to South Africa at another seminal historical moment. But I want to just set the stage. Yes. So talk to us about that first trip to Tanzania.
As I said, I was working the GIS, and then afterwards I started to work with the Panafrican group, different ones who would be writing press releases, and the media would chase it out. I knew how to write the press releases. That was acceptable to media people because, of course, I was trained in the media.
Yes.
So I worked with what was called the Abeng Group for social change, and helped to edit the newsletter. And then when that folded, mainly because half of them ran back into the politics, although it was supposed to be independent.
Yes.
So,
a lot of them became PNP.
Good. And when they became PNP, they kind of dropped me like hot potato. Especially when they see me going into Rasta.
Yes. But that was before, and we have to just, for the people, when you were doing this was the Black Power phase, and this was before you went into Rastafari. So you would have had colleagues that were professionals that were also writing for the Abeng, and then you started to gravitate.
Some of the ministers, like Arnold Bertram and D.K. Duncan, they know me well.
Okay.
I used to carry the notes.
Okay.
They make sure I run up and down so I can't find the notes.
So these are your contemporaries,
yes.
and they're big
and
people in society.
Yeah, Beverly Man, ABC, we were together.
Okay.
Right. So this is a big scandal because I'm taking all of that into the Rasta.
Yeah, so they feel like you're a traitor to some extent.
Right.
Why are you going with these dirty people where from the dongle and, you know, and you have society, you have privilege.
Right. I got it. So the Pan-Africans, they were wanting to organize for the 6th Pan-African Congress.
Yeah.
And they found me valuable because in fact I could get them publicity, I could do skills. Even though I realized it's more important than I realized at the time. Because I was thinking of it as just a Jamaica Secretariat. But the Secretariat in Jamaica really represented the Secretariat in the Americas.
Okay.
Brazil and all those places.
Yes.
So that's how I reached Tanzania. Because I was able to help them keep them going. The socialists are the more extreme left wing, and the Pan-Africanists were kind of a cultural war.
Yeah.
And so Rasta, Panafricanist, was kind of closer at that time. Later on they might complain, but at the moment, at the time, they were desperate for help.
Yes.
And I provided that help. And they had a magazine called Pan-African Digest that I edited successfully. So when it was time to go to Africa, they wanted to take me along. They actually thought the left wing was fighting them so much they weren't sure they were going to be properly seated. And somehow they think I was going to help them to get seated. I don't know how I was going to do that. But they had that in mind.
Yes, yes.
So when I arrived in Tanzania, for instance, the government sent out a delegation to meet us. And actually, I was wanting to go as a journalist because my living was being affected. How to get any money. They were locking me out of the Jamaican media. So
because of your work with Abeng.
Right, and
Yes.
because I've been Rasta too. Don't forget
Okay,
Rasta.
this was when you were Rastafari. What year was this? This was
This would be about 60. So I had about 68, 69.
69. So this was coming
68.
into the 70s.
It's coming into the 70s.
Yes.
It's not quite the 70s. But the Pan-African Conference took place in 74.
Yes.
Okay. So from 1970 to 74, I was doing work on the Pan-African things and Rasta stuff and things.
What was the year that you went into the Bingales, just so we can establish the timeline? What was the year when you started growing your locks? That people were identifying you as Rastafari?
That would have been in the 60s.
So that was late 60s.
Yes.
Okay. So
And then-
from the late 60s now, you became persona non grata
Right.
in the Jamaica society. You betrayed
Right.
your society people. What was the date of the Walter Rodney riot? Year?
I think it's 68.
68. So that was in coinciding. This was a tumultuous time because that's Martin Luther King assassination in America.
Right, good.
This is all
And I
kind
had
of
been in the United States
Yes.
and part of some of it. So I came back with it with my eyes open. And then Walter Rodney, with the Aben group, what happened?
Did you know Walter Rodney?
Not well.
Okay.
I met
You met
I met him, but I wish I know him.
Yes, okay.
And I heard him.
Yes.
And I was interacting with people who were influenced by him.
Yeah. And for those who are not familiar, his seminal work, How Europe Underdeveloped Africa, he was teaching at the University of the West Indies at the time,
Right.
Guyanese, but professor. But what distinguished him is that he would go into the ghetto
Yes.
and he would be amongst brethren and
Right.
elders and
Right.
teaching and bringing the university,
To
breaking
the
that invisible
people.
barrier
To the people.
to the people, So that was what made him dangerous to some extent because
And then we went to a black writers conference
yes,
with Robert Hill.
okay,
Hill again, Robert Hill.
yes, Robert Hill, yes,
Robert Hill. Frank Hill is the uncle of Robert Hill.
okay,
Last year you don't know Frank.
yes,
So when he came back, they read him the riot act. And the plane landed. So he's persona non grata.
yes,
And so he couldn't put his foot on Jamaican soil.
wow,
And the students at the university rioted against him, against the police and the government. And then the police started beating the students, and then the people started to riot. The
okay.
riots were much more serious than have been documented.
How far spread? So were these localized to the university area?
It started there, but it went to the people. Once the students went to, and it was crossroads somewhere in the middle.
Also, it was in Crossroads, the protests.
Yeah, and they got beaten.
Okay,
The people are around, and
Yes.
the people started to throw stone and bottle and stuff.
okay,
And then it spread and spread. Right here, Peter Tass was involved. Took a capture a bus and run it into Barter store, for instance.
okay,
The all white establishments and high brown that look white were under command.
okay,
I was in the streets at the time.
okay.
I was working with adult literacy because I do literacy. And they said we could do what? Get pictures of Henry Morgan. And so I was with a Peace Corps worker, I was white. I remember walking on East Street. And when I walked there, I went into Golden Friendship as a black friend. And I noticed someone come. So what's he getting so excited about? So after we talked a little bit, Peace Corps worker leave. And then Johnny Golden, who turned out later on to be a 12-time man.
Yeah.
One day they look walking with a white man in my stone and day like this. I said, what day is this? You see the one with the burning down Kingston? It's King Street, Church Street, all of them. And block away East Street, I'm walking calmly and didn't know what was going on. That's how Jamaica can be. Whatever it is, the intellectuals got together and invite the different groups to come. What we're trying to do with Rasta.
Yeah.
Come together under one umbrella. And that's what happened. They wanted writers, I wanted this. So the first time I was personally relating to Rasta.
Yeah.
The set of Rastas that actually are related. That was in the middle of it because they were and then campsite singing and chanting. It was Rasta historian.
Yes.
We had a group called
This is an
RMA.
iconic name, Rasta historian.
Yeah, but whoever it was
RCO.
Rastafari Movement Association.
Yeah.
Right.
Centralization.
Right.
Yes. Organization.
Right.
Yes.
And they had an office at Law Street.
Mm-hmm.
So we started working with him. That is my crew. A lot of them probably dead now.
Yes, yes, yes.
Give me help.
So a lot of the history I know, family, is from Nana Farika, just being around her. I know about Rass's story and all of these ones from her. Ras Iris, Ras Marcos, we have elders here. But that is part of the blessing of being in Washington, D.C. with these elders. But Nana Farika story is so vast. But I want, okay, lead us right up to the Tanzania, and then we want to do a poem because I want to get into the 2012 um,
Right.
resolutions and
Right.
the legacy
Right.
projects and all of those things that don't get talked about a lot. They kind of sweep under the rug. And this is one of the reasons we wanted to do this interview and talking with Nana is to really get this. And if you don't, if you're not aware of what happened, this book is very important because this is a time capsule in terms of just capturing what happened so that we don't forget as diaspora and making sure that we are keeping the AU accountable to the resolution. Because this was life changing in terms of the continent recognizing the diaspora. But talk to us about Tanzania. What was the name of that conference and
It's
what
the
came
6th
on it?
Pan-African Congress.
Yes,
And as you know,
yes,
the Berlin Conference divided up Africa amongst the Europeans. And the reaction to it was that Africans from around the world were forming Pan-African groups to protest and to get Africa free. They had 5 Pan-African Congresses. The 5th one is the most celebrated because the 5th one wasn't just a little group of people, but it had continental and Africans very prominent in the Nkrumah.
Nkrumah, Namde Ezekwe, certain other ones.
Right. Who went back to Africa and freed their countries.
Yes.
Right. And so they went and rested because now Africa was free. And now Roosevelt Brown and some of them went over to Nkrumah. But some of us are still under colonialism. We need another conference. And that other conference was the 6th Pan-African Congress.
Okay.
Most of the leaders were very left-wing and radical. And OAU then decided to back it, the conference. But that had brought some problems with the left wing because the left wing was using it also to critique the present leadership.
Okay.
And the OAU doesn't want that because of the same situation right now.
Yes.
The next thing it would do is to their government. Yeah. They had a meeting, which I should have gone to, in Guyana.
Mm-hmm.
Some all of them mysteriously. And passport picture was torn out at the last minute, so I couldn't go. It turned out that it was very good. I didn't go. The left went there and they criticized Burnham down to the T. And the Govan ambassador at the time went and reported back to Tanzania headquarters. Don't allow these Caribbean people to come because they overturn the thing unless the government let them and give them permission. Well, when that edict was read out, several men all of them decided that they're not asking for no permission, they're not going. And so the conference was held. My delegation was the only delegation from the Caribbean, based in the Caribbean, that had delegates to the conference.
Okay.
Everybody else was not there. And my situation today now is my delegation I'm the only living one from my dead.
Wow.
So them gone.
So you have to tell that story, and I know you're working on.
I try to work on it.
Yes.
It's very difficult because people represent the importance of it.
Yes.
And a lot of people in the Rastafari movement just don't see it.
I don't think a lot of people know about it, and this is why we have to support our elders. So please buy the book. We need to finance her writing because she has so much and she's churning out books. I want to big up Ras Ashley at the university, who is her son. I want to big up Ras Marcus, who is her son, who did the cover art. We'll get to that. They've been, her family has been rallying around, but we need the global African family to really support. And the way you support is go to Amazon, purchase the book, so that we can get, there's about 5 books that we need from the eye in terms of that Pan-African conference needs to be documented. Your Chad Chidanaya Bingi, a book for the Rastafari daughters. There's so many books that Nana is starting to write her memoir. This is just, we're skipping around, and the reason I can skip around is because I know, basically, but there's so much more, and I don't want people to think that we're just scratching the surface of what the life that you have lived, because you've lived several lives,
I feel that.
Yes.
And, at the time, sometimes I go through different ones, find the pieces that I had forgotten. But let's get back to the 6th Pan-African Congress.
Yes.
The 6th Pan-African Congress was the first Congress that was held on African soil.
Yes.
And it was called to OAU rather, and the diaspora come together, and the main thing they wanted to do at the time was to set up a scientific center for Africans and run by Africans, both from on the continent and at home.
Mm-hmm.
And they've been calling African independence. They just want to sit down and talk and pass resolutions on each other's behalf. But with the politics, which is the left wing versus the present government, the left wing, decided, even the man who started the thing, CLRJ, boycotted it.
Okay.
Walter Rodney and Malera said he couldn't come, but he would have boycotted it. Whatever. The way it was held now, the African Americans, the African Americans expected to get greater parts in it. And they have that problem of not being a government, so where they place them when you have these continental things. And that arose. And so a lot of them were mad about their positions. And so they haven't done much about it because of that too. And so they think they were a bit marginalized in their opinion. Now, after the conference, the 2012 conference was the first big conference inviting back the diaspora. This time as diaspora, not just as government, but as diaspora.
Okay.
Right? And so that's why the 6th Pan-African Congress, and it is important. Once they came, they didn't get the type of outcome they want. The diaspora movement has got very dormant. It was very alive. We were planning to have, as a matter of fact, with Guadu, the AU actually gave Dudley Thompson an honorary African passport. So they were around the corner. If he had lived, he would have forced them to do it.
Yes.
He had it all over them.
Yeah.
Part of the whole he had over them was the work he did in
Kenya.
And Tanzania.
Yes.
When I arrived in Tanzania, nobody knew any other politician in Jamaica besides Dudley Thompson. I thought he was the Prime Minister.
And of course, he's a very controversial figure in Jamaica because of the Green Bay and.
I can tell you something that the Green Bay Jamaica, no.
Yeah.
He was not Minister of Security at the time, although he pretended he was.
Okay.
He was not responsible for the security.
Yeah.
He was one of the matter and one of the upper class one.
Yeah.
And he decided to take the blow for them. Because the people never realized it was a white man set up that.
Yeah.
There the riots on the street.
Okay.
And why he protect so his African legacy is much wider than his Jamaican legacy.
Yeah.
In Africa, he was being honored and thing for getting Jehovah Kenyatta.
In Jamaica, his legacy is tainted by the politics.
Right.
But in Africa, he's seen as a Pan-African stalwart.
Right. Yeah, see, that's actually they gave him a special award.
I met him through working with Nana Farika, and he told me about meeting the emperor and several times.
There are pictures.
Yes.
When the riots was going on against them, about to break, the emperor called him and tell him what's in Ethiopia because he can't guarantee his safety.
Yes.
He was there in Ethiopia at the time.
Yes.
It hadn't burst out yet, but the emperor was know that it was going to.
The dirt, yes, the Creeping Revolution.
Tell him to get out of town. So, out of this, what the diaspora expected in the 2012 conference was to be seated at the 6th region of Africa.
Yeah.
What is the 6th region of Africa? At 5 regions. And the diaspora was supposed to be the 6th region. I keep saying the diaspora, but there are actually 2 diasporas. The historical one of us who were taken away as slaves to work on the white man's plantations, and the more recent one of migrants from Africa who came to the United States and the West, eventually living to work. Some of them running from persecution, etc. After the conference, at the conference, they passed 5 legacy projects that they said the diaspora must work on. But the diaspora had presented at the conference a proper format of how they could function at the 6th region.
They were supposed to have seats in the Pan-African Parliament.
20 there, 20. It become a problem because everybody wants one of the 20. And so there's no organizing proper going on, except for people to see how they can wiggle themselves in the time to be one of the 20.
Yes. And
so the diaspora is not properly organized for the 6th region and need to start organizing themselves as receivers. The more recent diaspora have been very badly treated by their governments. Now they got a foothold to be recognized. And so they have made a lot of progress since 2012. I don't know how much progress historical diaspora
has made. Now, CARICOM has, made some movement. Miss Montley from Barbados has been trying to do some. She did a conference. They had a conference during COVID. I remember the CARICOM AU conference and those things. But as you say, I don't know how much work has been done on it.
And it's restricted to the elite,
that's
the politicians.
Yeah, the grassroots.
The people don't know.
Yes.
I was in this controversial ambassador who got fired, Arikana. I went to one of our meetings, and she left from the meeting and went to Barbados to have a conference and CARICOM. And when I called the Barbados and Rasta, none of them knew she was there, no, about the conference. They weren't involving people at the grassroots. It was a grassroots initiative. We know how much Rasta has been preaching.
Yes.
And then ordinary people were taking it up. And so, what motivated some of the leaders was the fact of how much money the diaspora having from like Joseph.
Yes.
And so
the remittances.
Right. That's why they were able to get more out of the AU because they could prove what money they were sending into the country because more than the country's national money that was coming in, they were sending in more.
Yes.
And they know There was even more than was recorded. People will believe and carry money for somebody decide what they're sending to Western Union. They wanted to take over Western Union offer them a deal right away. The Western Union is still handling. But the AU wanted to do that. It's a different thing.
Trying to set up a different system.
And so what I did is attend the meetings and everyone with the diaspora movement. The diaspora won. There were about 1,000 people there. There's not a movement strong enough to set the 6th region in place.
Yes.
And once they didn't get that, they kind of lost. But the AU actually outlined 5 legacy projects that diaspora can go on working on and work up to.
Can you read those from the book there, because you've included those, and we didn't get a chance to talk about how you reached to there, but I want to quickly talk about that.
Talk about it.
While you look for it, because the Rastafari community actually came together to make this possible. We were meeting online, and this was an initiative that was started by IDOR, the IDOR Teleconference Initiative, which then evolved into different channels. Tron, the Theocracy Reign out of the Nyabingi, started as an offshoot of that teleconference initiative, and then the other initiative that was started was the Diaspora Africa Rastafari Congress, which at the time had a different name. Dark had a different name, but this was the genesis. So a lot of people know about Dark and the work they've been doing, Ras Jabi and others, but a lot of people are not familiar that, because I was part of this uprising, that really started as a result of us hearing about the conference and wanting to have a representation at the conference. So the Rastafari community came together, raised the funds to send, and there was actually a letter drafted that was to be delivered. There's a whole story around that as well. And Nana Farika was chosen unanimously as the one who was qualified because of her history with the other conference. And just like His Majesty was the only living leader who spoke to the League of Nations and to the United Nations, you are the only Caribbean person that was at the first conference, and that also went to this diaspora conference. All right, so we're going to read again. This book is a must-have in your collection. Go to Amazon, Africa on the Move, Nana Farika Berhane. Make sure you purchase the book. We're going to go into the legacy projects, because there were action items that actually came out of this historic conference, and the full report is there. I had the honor of working on this report for the Dark Foundation with Nana Farika. We adapted it for Dark, but we didn't get a chance to really distribute it widely. So Nana Farika's book really is the first time that this historic work is going wide. So please just read out the legacy project so that the diaspora can be aware of what the AU was requesting.
Legacy projects. We further agreed to adopt 5 legacy projects as a way of giving practical meaning to the diaspora program, and in order to facilitate the post-summit implementation program. Legacy projects are: A, the production of a skilled database of African professionals in the diaspora. B, the establishment of the African Diaspora Volunteer Corps. C, the African Diaspora Investment Fund. D, a program on the development marketplace for the diaspora as a framework for the facilitation, innovation, and entrepreneurship among Africans and the diaspora. And E, the African Renaissance. Oh, sorry. The African Remittance Institute.
So that was what they were going to compete with Western Union, and Western Union
Run before it.
and cut a deal.
And cut a deal, and they didn't see the deal coming on their head.
Yes. So these are very important. I know that right now, Rastafari, we are working on the skills bank. But go ahead.
We should do this, and then that will do. Implementation and follow-up. We adopt the following implementation and follow-up mechanism strategy 1. Co-associational AU diaspora conferences in Africa and in the diaspora to review the implementation of this program of action. That's important.
Yeah.
Not being done. Involve regional economic committees in the implementation of the program of action. Request the AU Commission to develop mechanisms to establish that the experiences of women and youth and vulnerable groups are taken into account in the implementation of the program of action. That's important. Continue communication efforts to popularize the African Diaspora Initiative and provide positive images of Africa that will create a conducive environment for investment opportunities on the continent. There are more. I just think that the whoever buy the book, make sure they read the
section. Implementation follow. That's on page 82 and 83.
And then the legacy problem is on 84.
Yes. And again, this book is a wealth of information. It's a time capsule that really encapsulates what this legacy is, and we need to read it so that we can hold the AU accountable, and we can hold the governments accountable to these great resolutions that they think. So
some of it is ours.
Yes.
We must think which the AU can ask us.
Yes.
It's not only that the AU is not following up. We are not following up.
We are not following up. I'm glad you said that.
Right.
So in terms of final songs, and this is part 1. I want to do a series with Nana Farika because she has many books. This is just one book, and I want us to really, as a community, as a Pan-African family, the Lion Pride is global, and I call my subscribers the Lion Pride. We are global now. We are growing. One of the first things I want us to do collectively is to buy this book and show the power of the collective.
I want, because we haven't said that.
Yes.
That the book also has a report on the celebrations for the 50th anniversary of the OAU/AU.
Okay.
And they also, within that, you have the resolutions that they passed.
And you were also in Addis Ababa for that too.
I was in Addis Ababa.
So this is one of our elders who not only on the ground in Jamaica, not only here in America, because we didn't talk about how she was instrumental in bringing the elders up to America. You know, we didn't touch that part there.
That deserves a
separate
by itself.
We're just talking about this work, but she is one of the elders that has gone to the continent several times. South Africa, Tanzania, Ethiopia, Ghana. So east, west, south, you know, only central and north remaining to go. But Nana Farika is a treasure. We're gonna bring her forward. This is my elder. Without Nana Farika, there is no Dejazmatch Kwasi in Rastafari the way that you see I today. Right now I work with the Rose Law Firm, which is a Rastafari law firm, who introduced Ayman to attorney George Rose, Nana Farika. So I just want to show the people behind the scenes how instrumental the eye is to this Rastafari tradition. You know, I owe so much to the eye contribution to Iman Chad, so I want to publicly be able to say that to the eye
Okay, thank you.
here, because a lot of ones will look up to I and not realize that I don't just come out of a vacuum. She also has the same name as my mother, so you know that's within the mystic. You know, they share the same name. And also her brother was the principal at the school that my parents met home with. So her brother actually stayed at my home in Toronto before I even knew who Nana Farika was or anything like that. So I'm just showing you the mystic of creation of how things unfold. So any final words that you would like to share with the people in terms of this book, why it's important for them to purchase, and what you hope that they get out of the book?
Well, basically, I hope that you at least read all of the resolutions that are in the book, and that in fact you can get together with others and discuss means of implementing some of the recommendations that the AU and the OAU recommended. That's it, basically some work.
Yes.
And let's talk.
Let's talk.
Right.
She's a big advocate of let's talk. And also,
You know, particularly when I met some of the elder Rastafari, and they were forbidding them to talk in the tabernacle and whatnot. I said, well, how could you take such a thing? And they turned to me and said, but what come out of all that? Social talk? I don't have time for social talk.
they were working.
Not working.
So this is so crucial. And again, I just want to thank the eye for the sacrifices that the eye has made, because this has not come without great sacrifice. You could have been a wealthy heiress, you know, with all this wealth and society and accolades and up and down in the uptown society. You put all of that aside for the love of black people. And there are few human beings I know that love black people more than Elder Nana Farika. And I really want to say that there is a light and an inspiration to many, you know. And nobody feel like she's done. She has lived several lives, and right now she is pumping out legacy books about the Caribbean, about you know, Rastafari, Jazz Eye Shepherd. She has so much work that she has done, and we are so.
Hi, mommy. I think your son.
No, it's not my son.
Hi, how are you?
Blessed, I'm her spiritual son. Dana Stilin. Dana Exhibit Maskan.
How is she?
She is just a joy to be around, you know. We are here talking about her book. You know, she's an author, so we also want to let the world know about her work. They can support and buy her books, because she has been writing this book about the African Union.
Okay.
You know that she's world renowned.
No, she don't know that.
You don't know that part.
No.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay,
take
good
care.
time, good time. I'll tell him you asked
Dana
me.
why? Dana why? Yes. So, family, I want to just thank everyone for this again. This is just part one. We're gonna come forward. We're gonna have to do this in sections, because each book represents a different aspect of her child. But we're gonna try to bring the full catalog of books on different episodes. So each episode. So this is the Africa on the Move section of this series that we're gonna do. So please, again, I can't reiterate more. Go to Amazon.com. If you're in the DMV, you can go to Ashley Pure, which is in Mount Rainier. Mama Tia, we did an interview with Mama Tia. You can check that out. Chemical engineer. You can go and see her store in Mount Rainier. She has signed copies, right?
Yes.
At her store. So if you're in the Washington, D.C., Maryland, Virginia area, you can get them. locally, but if not, you're global, part of the global family, go online, Amazon.com, and get the book Africa on the Move. Why do you ask? Because the time has come for the lionesses to tell their own story, and this is the Lion's Voice.
Lion voice.
Well, great is the Almighty, and greatly to be praised in the city of Haile Selassie I, the mountain of His holiness.
Yeah, from Cape to Cairo, from Timbuktu to the Nile, you know, the whole entire continent.
Beautiful for situation, the joy of the whole earth is Mount Zion, from Accra to Addis Ababa.
Yes, it's beautiful continent, better control, Mama Africa.
Very beautiful.
From Cape to Cairo, from Timbuktu to the Nile, I smile. From Mama
I hear you call Mama Africa. Been so long since I see Mama. Father of Africa set the law. The lion come and dismantle Babylon flaw. We gonna use solar energy, use sanitation to build the ecology. We utilizing green technology. We hailing Haile Selassie first without apology. And then we build the youth them economy. We dismantle Babylon monopoly. We teach the youths them how to live properly. Tell them make sure them got the title for them property.
yes, this beautiful continent, better control, Mama Africa. From Cape to Cairo, from Timbuktu to the Nile, I smile. For Mama
I love you, Mama. Your heart never harden. I wanna turn all your slums into garden. I wanna stop all of your youths from starving. I wanna stop all of your tribes from warring. So much to say, so many feelings. We both been hurt, we both need healing. Since the League of Nations you've been appealing. You stand up against them backdoor dealing.